There was a number of teams that called after that media blitz that happened, right? But no, I never actively negotiated with anybody, and with any team. Now, did people call? Absolutely. And but yeah, I'm not going to get into specific teams, but yeah, there was never ever a conversation. People think that trade talks happen, like, hey, you just start negotiating right away. There's a lot of calls that are very, very periphery calls.
Russ has been our quarterback for a good while, and we've got a long contract with him. And when all of the conversation went about trades and all that, I knew what the truth was. We weren't trading Russell. And so, so we plan on him being here for a good while. I don't know how many years it is now, but we're in great shape, and a long future ahead of us is shared. Russ knows that, and I know that, and we're very clear about it. It's why it was really obvious that we just had to sit back and let the kind of the media take its course with the topic, and so we did. And so we're in good shape, and both very clear about that.
Chris, as I said yesterday on PFTPM, the Packers got more for their money when they hired a consultant to tell them to use the phrase foreseeable future than the Seahawks got for their money when they hired a consultant who told them to say a good while.
A good while.
When you listen to Pete's answer, it sounds like Russell Wilson's under contract for 10 years. He's not. He's under contract 3 more seasons, 21, 22, 23. And his agent, Mark Rodgers, who has no other NFL clients and therefore drives a hard bargain with the Seahawks every time, he always puts the squeeze on the Seahawks with 1 year left. We're 2 years away from Russell Wilson back on Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Fallon saying, so you're going to be the highest paid player in football again.
Right.
That's what's going to happen. So they're going to have to pay him or trade him in 2 years. I think the reality is, at most, they get 1 more year, and after this year, that's when Russell's either going to make his play or they're going to have to come to terms with reality. But, a good while is the headline. When you listen to everything Pete said, and he looked over to John Schneider at one point, I don't know, maybe Pete just doesn't know how long Russell Wilson's under contract. It's not well into the future. It's 3 seasons, 2 years from now. They're either going to extend him or they're going to be entering their lame duck year with Russell Wilson, or more likely they're going to be trading him then if they don't trade him before then.
Yeah, I think that's where I tend to lean. I think the one thing is, or I'll say for right now, right, is I think we can close the door on a Russell Wilson trade for this year. Like, it's not going to happen here anytime now, OTAs, training camp, whatever. He's going to be the quarterback of the Seahawks for 2021. But I think after that, it's a coin flip. I do. There's too many media blitz. There was a media blitz because your quarterback made it a media blitz. They know that. They were very good in how they handled that whole situation there. Even with how Pete at the end is we always knew he was going to be here. So we just kind of let the media talk about it, and we knew it would die down. No, you just.
He's the one who did it. Russell did it.
That's what I mean. Russell did it, and I don't buy that you always knew he was going to be here. I think you guys were just sitting there letting those phone calls come in going, man, is someone going to make us some absurd offer that we can't turn down? That's what I think. But as we also, too, I think what sheds light on that is, we talked about this back at the time, because the Bears tried to make it right, that they tried to, which we heard, yeah, they must have sent an offer out there or anything like that. But Seattle never, as John Schneider said, never really got into real talks with anybody. So that should be able to keep him in good faith with Russell Wilson and everything like that. But I think that story's done here for this year at least.
Well, and I think here's why they never got into any talks with anyone, because once you do that, you got to trade him. You can't say, well, we negotiated and then we decided to keep him. Once you throw that chum into the water, it's done, because Russell wanted out, his agent wanted him out, they saw an opportunity, and as long as the Seahawks kept the door slammed shut and furniture barricading the other side of it to any trade discussions, there was really nothing they could do. The moment you open that door, it's over. It's over. Just the question is, what deal are you going to get from another team? And I like it, Chris, because we had enough quarterback movement this year. Let's kick Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers to next year.
Okay.
We know what's coming. We know what's going to drive traffic and drive viewership. It's going to be what happens with Aaron Rodgers, what happens with Russell Wilson, because they both got I think we agree, one more year where they currently are.
I think so, yeah. I mean, that's the way I see it playing out. And, hey, you know, the other thing, too, with the Seahawks, Russell and John probably look at it like, I mean, Russell, Pete, and John Schneider, they probably look at it again, too. The salary thing with Russell and how much money is going to cost against their team and them having to juggle all of that and already being in a tight spot, that had to be another big part of this puzzle, to just go, you know what, it's just too much. We can't let a guy go out the door and have this much dead money on our cap right now.
When he signed that contract 2 years ago, they gave him $35 million per year, top of the market at the time. I was told reliably, and I still believe it entirely, this is the last contract he's going to sign with the Seattle Seahawks. And I believe it, because the next time around, what are they going to want? They're going to want $46 million a year, or whatever the top of the market is 2 years from now. I don't know that anyone's going to pass Patrick Mahomes in new money average, which is currently $45 million, but they're going to shoot for that. And one way or the other, Russell Wilson's going to end up in a place where he gets to be the Patrick Mahomes, and it all runs through him. That's what he wants.
Yep.
That's why it was a problem. That's why it was an issue. That's why we heard let Russ cook all year last year. And as I said early in the season, the message is let Russ cook, or you're going to be baking him a farewell cake. And people scoffed. Well, you can still scoff. The time for scoffing is going to end in about a year.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.